can't teach an old dog new tricks.
It says you are live. I think we're
That
live now. Yes,
that is
we are. We are.
terrifying.
Woo!
Well, if anyone can see us or hear us, um, start the roasting.
It's your lucky day. Yeah.
Okay. Who are we? Do we start over? I don't know. Were we
Yeah.
even live before?
We weren't. I mean, we were live to ourselves, but
I
now
mean, it was so
now
fantastic.
we're
I
live
hit
to the world.
12 different octaves. You guys just missed it. I broke
I know
out
it was
the crystal
beautiful.
glasses.
I never knew you were a soprano. I learned something new about you every day.
I don't even know what that means. That's how bad I am. I really only sing like Ethel Merman. In fact, I was kicked out of a band once. That's a different story. Um, I don't know. Will we know if we have people that are watching? Can we have any comments or chats or anything?
I don't see any comments yet, but I'm
Okay.
looking. I can't
I
even tell
mean,
if there's people watching. I don't know where
it's,
I look for that.
oh, I don't know.
This is a
Mm-mm.
whole new world.
I guess I'll put on my glasses.
All right. Put
Let's
your
stay in the
glasses on. You
studio.
can be like me. All right. Well, let's get the party started. Now you can reintroduce yourself for the third time.
Oddly enough, I was hearing an echo.
Echo. Whoa.
No, I really am hearing a very long delay.
Oh, okay.
Is there anything that you're doing that you're recording or pre-doing something?
I'm not. I have my phone off. I hear you in
I
my
just heard you say
headset.
echo again.
Echo.
That's not making it any better.
You sound perfect on my end. There's no echo.
I am perfect. But I just heard you say echo again.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Okay, then I just heard you say you sound perfect on my end, and I don't know if that's the second time you said it or not.
No, yeah, it's definitely an echo. You're getting a delayed echo on your end.
Way delayed.
Oh no. Okay.
I don't really need to hear myself. I've tried my entire life to avoid that.
I can try
Wonder if I,
taking the headset off.
yes, it's something on your end.
Okay. I'm going to take the headset off and go
Okay.
open
And go
audio.
raw dog. Go raw
I'm
dog,
gonna raw dog
Danielle.
the audio.
Listen, if anybody's even watching, they're already. Okay, I just heard you say you're going to take the headset off.
Okay. How about now?
Okay, I'm still hearing the delay, but give it a second and maybe it won't loop back again.
Okay.
Just give it a second. Well, I mean, let's just put it this way, NASA is not calling me for my technological know-how. It is still looping back. It's looping back from when you did whatever you did.
Oh, okay.
Let me pull mine. I don't know what that was. Let's try it.
Okay. Testing.
I'm hearing myself old style. He wants to hear me twice, let me tell you. See,
Okay.
here's what I wonder. Might be my problem. Give me a second.
It usually is.
My listen, you cunt. I know where you live. Um, I think I might have fixed it.
Okay.
Hello. Okay, I think I fixed it.
All right.
So, oh, and look, we're live. 4 minutes and 13 seconds.
Yes.
God,
4 minutes of us trying to figure out our audio.
retarded.
First joint live
I
stream.
just, I don't even know what to say about the sheer retardation. So I don't know if I look in the chat or the comments because if somebody wants to ask us questions while we're going off about chaos, I'll stay in the comments if
Okay.
you can view the chat.
I will.
Um,
I haven't seen any. There's nothing in either. I'm also still raw dogging my audio. So if you start hearing too
no,
much,
no. Okay, so you can do whatever is best for you.
okay. I
And
think
then let
we're
me
good.
see. Okay, it was me. Do we just start this? Listen, if we put it on YouTube, we can just like cut it and be like, "Hi,
No.
welcome to the," and then nobody will know that we're assholes. That's what I think
Okay.
we should do.
All
Okay.
right. Okay. Are we still going? I can end the stream. I don't know if I end the stream if we can restart it.
No point. Nobody cares.
Okay. All right.
Nobody's in the stream. We are
Okay.
talking into an abyss. It's basically like the FBI listening to our phone call, but probably less people listening right now.
Mm, true.
Oh, Rumble isn't responding.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I don't like that. But you still see me, right?
I still see you. Yes.
All right, well, fuck it. Let's rock.
All right.
Um, okay, but that's what makes me think that everybody heard my whole spiel from before. But the good news is we could just like cut it out if we need it or not. I don't know.
Yeah, we weren't live streaming before, so
We weren't?
no. I guarantee.
All right. All right. Well, let's just start over.
Okay,
This is
starting.
going to be a lot of copyright. Hi, I'm Molly Sleuth. I was a LAPD detective for many years and an abomination of dating myself. So I find myself to be somewhat of a relationship expert from my own failures, which are heavily documented at I'd Rather Die Alone on Instagram, and as well as answering thousands of 911 calls for bad dates, bad relationships, bad breakups. I feel like I've seen it all. Plus, I talk to everybody about the deep, dark underbelly of dating apps. I love it. So that's my background. Um, who are you, strange lady?
I know. I'm Danielle Noire. It's my fancy stage name, and I've been
Oh,
friends with Molly for over 20 years. And
dear.
I know we've seen a lot, we've done a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm single mom, corporate executive by day, and true crime binge watcher by night.
Excellent.
And I too have handled thousands of calls through all of my customer service work. Those are terrifying calls, let me tell you. And interviewed hundreds of guys and gals all over the world.
Excellent.
And I have my fair share of dating disasters to add to the mix.
In a related story, we're not embroiled in any bullshit relationships right now, so that's good. But I think we're like two of the most romantic, like modern girls that there is. I don't think we're jaded, and we'll get into it, but I don't
Yeah,
think we subscribe to that whole like feminazi culture of like I don't need no man or you know whatever
no, definitely not. And
toxic masculinity.
I love love. So I'm a romantic at heart. And, I might seem jaded at times, but just, throw a rose my way and I'm like,
I'd like a little toxic masculinity in my life, let me tell you. I find only the toxic part of it, so this is
oh,
the
yeah.
combination. I guess like while we're talking about it, just I know it's early. You have no idea what to expect from us. You don't even know how fucking hilarious we are. But if you could just like it, subscribe to it, that kind of stuff, because we are just starting out, but we have so many awesome stories. And what I see with Rumble, YouTube, wherever we're going to be throwing this, is that as our numbers grow, it unlocks all kinds of new levels where we can share our mayhem in different ways. So that would really help us out. And also, just on a personal level, I I have to apologize for my hair. Here's why. Do you remember when you were a kid and you heard that ghost story of the lady with the velvet ribbon?
Yes, that was terrifying. Haunted my dreams.
Okay, you're gonna tell the story better than me. Give me the cliff notes of this freaking ghost story.
You want me to tell the story?
Well, I mean, if you know it, yeah. I mean,
Oh,
I can give you the quick and dirty. Two little kids growing up. The girl has a velvet ribbon tied around her neck, and the little boy says, like, "Why do you have that velvet ribbon tied around your neck?" Like, "I'll tell you someday if we get to know each other better." And so they grow up, and like, "I'll tell you someday if we go to the prom. I'll tell you someday." And he keeps asking, "What's the velvet ribbon?" "I'll tell you someday if we get married. I'll tell you someday if we're very, very old." And so now they're fucking old and life is over. And he's like, bro, how come you haven't told me about the velvet ribbon tied around your neck? She says, okay, fine. You can untie it now. And he unties it and her head rolls off and falls on the fucking ground. She's been dead the whole time. Here's the thing. What I noticed is in all my little thumbnails, like I have my hair up. I mean, I have hair and
Yeah.
I wear it different ways. But for whatever reason, on all my thumbnails, I have my little bows in my hair with my braids. And so I just feel like it's like the red velvet ribbon that if you untie my bow, that perhaps some part of my body is going to roll onto the floor.
All your hair is just gonna fall off. And
Yeah, I mean, both strands, left and the right strand. So anyway, there's
you
that.
told the story beautifully, much better than I remembered it.
Listen, no, I didn't. Okay, so we're here to talk about dating though,
Yeah,
and I
you can
don't know if
share your
you're
story.
right. Um, and so okay, so we did one. I think we put it on Rumble too, and we put it on YouTube, and we were talking about dating apps, and we have so many more good tidbits to add to that. But we wanted to kind of move forward and just start talking about like the date, the first date, and like what do
Dun.
you do? What do you wear? How do you set it up? Do you
Yeah,
pay? Like those are the kind of things that I think that we kind of wanted to dispel some myths based off of the 1.5 billion people that we know and their pet peeves and what they're just like, I'm never going out with that guy again, or I'm never going out with that girl again. And here's why, dot, dot, dot. So first thing I'd have to say about the dates is to be selective. You aren't on any of the apps or getting any kind of attention from people just to have something to do Friday night. Go home, clean out your sock drawer, whatever you need to do. But don't just go on dates to go on dates. Like, really be selective. This is your time to find someone for you. Like, there are plenty of people who have asked me out that no doubt they would have had a fun time, but was I going to have a fun time?
right.
And so I would say that's like the biggest key with the date is make sure that you are picking quality over quantity.
Absolutely. Unless you're looking for quantity. I should specify we're here to share, these stories and tips for people looking for a long-term serious relationship. But if you are looking for a fun time and not a long time, um,
And
then
if you were looking for a fun time, then you for sure want to find somebody that is what you want. You
compatible.
want to find that person.
That's true. Yeah.
And there's plenty of asses and bathroom mirrors on Tinder. And so, like, stop writing the girl who's like, I want to get married by Thursday. Like, well, maybe she'll just let me slip it in. Like, just stop. Stop wasting everybody's time. Like, only go for where you're looking.
Yes.
I would just say that because there's a shoe for every foot.
That is true. Some feet don't even want shoes. Um,
Listen, I don't even want you to get me started because my algorithm on Instagram right now is all foot fetish shit, and I don't know who's responsible for that, but it wasn't me. And I'm just like, I can't see another woman like pouring wine on her foot for what reason?
oh,
I
no.
don't understand.
I think Quentin Tarantino got a hold of your account.
Listen, I'm not happy about it. I had really good fart jokes and political stuff. I was having a good time, and now it's just fucking
Feet.
calluses and toenails. I'm not happy.
I love watching videos of people falling down. I know that's horrible. I'm going to
Oh
burn in hell
yeah,
for it, but
yeah. It makes me just like, oh. Um. All right.
all right,
Rein it
being
back in. So
yeah,
what are we talking about? Being compatible. Yeah.
being
So
compatible,
if
being
you want marriage,
yeah,
if you want a warm parking spot, like find your person. Don't waste time on it. Block all those people. And then, but also like some of the other things, like some people work remotely and like their whole life is about traveling. And you're like, I have an office job 9 to 5, and like I don't really want to go see any place. Like I just want to sit and watch TV. Like this is the time to be really weeding out those people that like you're not going to get along with in 3 months anyway. So
absolutely. I think lifestyle is a good thing to start asking questions on. To your point
yeah,
of whether they like traveling a lot, are you a homebody? How much time? I think a really important question to ask is how much time do you have to commit to a relationship? If they're honest and you
yes,
find that out up front, is somebody you want to find somebody to be in a relationship with where they spend like 50% of their time together, or 10% of your time together. That I think is really important, as I learned, as I found out through my
That's funny
travel.
because I liked the way that you worded it because that is not how I would have worded it. I would have said, make sure that you find somebody that's not requiring the amount of time that you cannot commit to this fresh stranger right off the bat. I know you want to hear my voice from the moment my alarm gets up until I am walking into my workplace. However, comma, toilets need to be flushed, food needs to be chewed, and I don't need all that.
Gases need to
Mm,
be passed. Yes, exactly.
yeah, I don't. A little quiet time, a little space to yourself is good. Um, but also, like, if they have 43 kids and they're basically looking for a nurse with a purse or a mommy to. Oh, I dated this one guy and he literally wanted me to sleep on his wife's side of the bed, use her side of the sink. I'm like, did you want to just call me Cheryl? Like, is that gonna work
Wow.
for you? So yeah, make sure that you're compatible and like drugs and stuff. But that was a little tricky because I don't know that everybody's totally honest up front. So you gotta just look out for the signs, I guess. But yeah, drugs, alcohol, like, oh man, I was so shredded last night. And you're like, oh, hold on a second, my reception block. Like, just, no. Okay, so
Yeah,
piece
even
one.
if you're not heavy drinkers too, if you don't drink at all, you probably don't want to start dating somebody that's heavy drinker. It might be rough.
Yeah, so
Smoker,
I even,
non-smoker, that kind
I,
of stuff.
I don't drink very often, one a year. I couldn't tell you when the last time I had anything was. Oh, yes, I can. I was in Arizona and I had a margarita with my friend from Belgium. Um, but if I'm on the dating app and it says, do you drink? And you put never, to me, that means like you might be in AA and you're just like, man, those were the good days. Like, I don't, so I just put socially, but then you're like, yeah, let's go out. Like, yeah, let's go out. Do they have root beer? Do they have, tea? Do they have whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, you got to drink. Like, yeah, that's not my socially.
Yeah. Well,
Ugh.
more reason to kind of suss that stuff out while you're having those first few conversations before you get to the first date. But
Okay.
we shared this in the previous, I would say episode feature, the previous creature feature. We discussed
Yeah.
the wonderful tip you gave me a long time ago was the amazing, spectacular, revealing video chat.
Yes.
Yeah, so
For
having a
God's sake,
video chat before the actual date.
it is the most underrated feature. And some of the apps don't have the video chat. So then it's like, all right, well, here's my Skype, because that way I can block the shit out of you afterwards if you're
Yeah,
like, check it out or whatever. Um, so you want it to be on like a platform that you can block them and that they can't use like 17 burner accounts to just blow you up after. Because we'll get into some safety tips, but there are some issues that unfortunately we go through. I mean, God, I want to just give you my password to my Facebook for 5 minutes. Like, it's just what prison in Qatar is my profile name like written on the wall? Because for whatever reason, I'm very popular everywhere but where I live. So, and they're very nice, but it's like, bro, you literally don't even know if I have legs. Like, move along.
right.
Um, yes,
So video
video chatting is so great. It's because it's so organic. You get to know somebody's like real, true cadence and their vocabulary, and there's
yes.
nothing that's like scripted or premeditated or like, what? How do you spell that? Or oh, what's another word for? Or let me Google something to throw in here and sound smart. It really is
Yes.
them organically.
There's many individuals I've met on the apps that seem to write really well in the messaging or in the texting. And then I had a video chat and they're almost a completely different person. Lots of
Oh,
and
yeah.
they don't know what to say.
Well, people
And then
do
you
get
get to
nervous.
what they sound like. You get to see what do you really look like. Were the pictures that you had on your profile from 35 years ago,
Oh,
and
yeah.
now I get to see.
I guess
And
that's you.
And depending on the background, you get to see where they live. So I've had tons of different weird
Yes.
experiences with that. I've uh, had a date one time with a guy, went to his house, and he just had a bunch of empty picture frames all over the walls. And
Wait, like he took his ex out of him?
no, they were just like empty picture frames hanging all over the walls. And I asked, why do you have empty picture frames? He's like, I just really love the frames, but I haven't found anything to put in them yet. And I'm like,
What?
okay. And had I had a video chat with him first, it might not have gone on the date with him. But I also had a video chat with
Sir,
somebody
your
that,
personality is literally hollow and devoid of anything.
yes.
I know, but the frame looks so good. Okay, check please. Like, that is so weird.
Wood grain on
Okay,
this one, yes.
I um I met a guy at a detective training. I don't know how deep in the weeds I want to get with this one because obviously I don't want his wife to come slash my tires. Ma'am, I didn't do anything. Slash his tires. And he was cute. I didn't know he was married
Mm.
until it wasn't even a video chat. He sent me a selfie of himself and he was in the bathroom mirror and he had a towel wrapped around his waist, steamy mirror, bare chest, doors closed to the bathroom. And I said, "How long have you been married?" "What? How did you know?" "How long have you been married?" And he's like, "Literally, how did you know?" Like, "Sir, you know I'm a detective. Like, I don't know how to explain it to you any more than your picture told me that you're married." And here's why, Danielle. The faucet was on.
Okay, so
So, okay,
why did that give that away?
have you had roommates?
Have I? I wrote a book.
Okay, but you also have loved ones that you've lived with.
Yes.
So, if you are in, okay, three scenarios. You're in the bathroom, using the bathroom, showering, doing whatever,
Yeah.
and you have roommates and the bathroom door is closed. Do they leave you alone?
Not always.
Well, but typically a roommate respects the bathroom door. They might knock, but they're not going to come
Yes.
in.
Yes.
Okay. And you've had little kids that might also knock and you just go, "Hold on,
They just
mommy's
come right
coming,"
on in.
whatever.
Yeah.
But they don't come in and they wouldn't get upset. Neither of those two categories would get upset with the sound of the door locking.
True, right.
So to me, the only category that would be upset to hear the door lock sound is a wife. "Why are you locking the door? Are you okay in there?
Yeah.
Usually you shit with the fucking door open, sweetheart. What's going on? Are you okay?" But if you turn that water on, it gives you that alibi that, like, "No, I really am busy, sweetheart. I'll be right out." It buys you time to take a selfie and send it to some fucking bitch. Oh, I was the bitch. Anyway, point is, I sniffed him out, and that was it.
That is amazing. I wish I had your detective skills.
I don't,
Figured it out.
but
That's
I,
amazing.
I think, I mean, I was a total detective even before I was a cop. Probably because of all the losers I dated. Oh my God. Uh, this is as an aside. Danielle and I were talking earlier today about how we went on a date with a single date. It was a single date, right? With the same
Yes.
guy.
Yeah, same guy, separate times.
He got one chance, and boy, did he fuck it up with both of us. For me, he brought a friend, and the friend got to sit in the front seat of the car. And then the back seat of the car was like full of trash. And so I'm like knocking on the window. Could somebody like unlock the fucking door for me? Like, "You brought a friend. That's cool." And I get to sit in the back with the tissue box. That's good. And then the friend acted all like indignant about having to unlock the door. And I was like, "Sorry. I mean, you guys could go on this date forever. Like, together. He invited me on the date. I didn't realize that you were coming to the date." So we go. They had nope. Like I'm on a date with they. He had no plans for this date. And like, "Oh, so what do you want to do?" Like, I mean, you asked me to dinner, so I thought there might be something to chew involved. I don't like that might be asking. So I find a place for us to eat. I order for the three of us because apparently they're like, "I don't know what to get. I don't know what to get." Like, I mean, just get the dino nuggets. Children, like, if there's a menu, I paid for all three of us because they forgot their money. My date, his his date, the whole time. First of all, they sat next to each other the entire time. Danielle, dude, you remember that one time? Oh my god, that shit was so funny, man. That was the best, man. I know, dude, that one time. Yeah, and I'm just like, this was before cell phones, so I couldn't even just like Google how to
Entertain
kill
yourself.
myself.
Yeah.
And so then his friend borrowed money from me to call his girlfriend on the payphone. Are we dating the story? And
And
so then they were done. I paid. Oh, they both went to the pay. That's what they both went to the payphone to go talk to this girl conveniently while the fucking check came. And I was just like, I don't even care. I want out of here. I'm not waiting for them to fucking like pull out a roll of dimes and splash it all over the table. So we get back in the car. Again, I'm sitting in the back. Fine, whatever. Okay, so what do you want to do? Like, I think probably just going back to my car sounds like the best to me. Oh, but like we should go get alcohol. Yeah, you should buy us alcohol because we don't have ID. I'm like, uh, because I think he's quite a bit older than me, but I wasn't really sure because I didn't really know him. But
well,
maybe you can say, I think he is older than us,
yes,
right?
he is
Okay.
older than this. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, his whole thing about buy us alcohol was probably just monetary and not because they didn't have ID, but I think I took it as ID. So I'm like, no, we're good. Just drop me off my car. So I worked in Hollywood at some punk rock store called Retail Slut on Melrose, and you had to park several blocks away, permit parking, whatever. So he drops me off at my car. I'm driving this like '74 Chevy Nova that like sometimes starts with a pair of scissors and a can of ether. So I'm like, can you please just wait and make sure that my car starts so that I'm like safe and I'm not kidnapped and whatever? Oh yeah. So first they pull like a quarter of a block past my car. Like it's pretty
Right.
much the only Nova in Los Angeles, sir. Like I don't there. Yeah, that one back there. Oh, you're not even gonna reverse. Okay. So I'm like walking to my car, and then it was like Princess Leia putting the plans into R2D2. Like I'm all hunched over, like trying to put my key in the fucking door, and they took off. Like I didn't even get in the car, and he took off,
Oh my
and I
god.
was just like, whatever, dude. So I drove home. Now here's the part of the story that I totally do not remember, but it sounds 100% like something I would do because I saw him at a chameleon show 100 years later. And no, actually, he came into Resale Slut after that, but he was dressed like a raver. And I was like, I thought you were like a death rock guy. Are you insert name here? No, bro, it's totally you. But you have like a pacifier hanging from your quadruple extra large pants for some odd reason. Yeah, he was dressed like in those like tent pants. No, it's you. Like, no, no, it's not. No, that's you. He's like, that's my brother. Oh, okay. So when I said, are you whatever, you could have just said, oh yeah, that's my brother. Like, that's how you know you're fucking lying. Anyway, um, then I saw him like years later at the Chameleon show, and he comes up to me. He's like, I've never forgotten our date. And I'm like, we went on a date? And he
Yeah.
was like, yeah, because after I dropped my friend off, I called you and I asked if you wanted to do anything. And I told you that like I had dropped him off. And do you know what you told me? I was like, I don't even remember you calling me. He's like, you told me that you were naked and rubbing a bottle of Southern Comfort all over yourself. And I was like, that doesn't even sound appealing. That sounds like totally trash joke that I made. But I'm glad that 10 years later it still haunts you is kind of good because I still
Oh,
remember that I paid for your mac and cheese. So that's good.
yeah, you're right. I haven't forgot our date either. I've spent a lot of money in therapy trying to do so, but
Right. Oh my God. Yeah, mac and cheese. That's what they have. So
oh,
no dino nugget.
no dino. Yeah.
Okay. um, but okay, so along with the video chat though, you want to make sure like they're real, that their pictures are valid because if people can't be honest about them, like good or bad, I have always been myself and that's it. If you don't like me, see you tomorrow. Like doesn't matter to me. But you should be super concerned with the kind of person who like puts up their pictures from like 1989 football team, like who's showing up. So if you see this video and you're like you're like unrecognizable from the profile pictures, it's a real bad sign that you're going to waste an entire first date, 3 dates, 20 dates, not even knowing this person because they're just trying to put up this other version of who they wish they were or who they used to be and not who they actually are. So I would say if the pictures don't like match era wise and vibe wise from what you saw online, like they're not being honest and it's a waste of your time.
Very true. Um, Back to like background and where they're at. I've also had experience where I video chatted and the person stayed outside the whole time. So there's a guy I had met on an app, and I'm like, "Hey, let's do a video chat." He's like, "Okay."
Like
And
the faucet on.
awesome, yeah. And so I picked a time, and we, called each other. And he was outside taking a walk, and he's like, "Oh, I like to take walks in the evening." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." I actually thought it was really weird. So he was walking the whole time, and then he got to a house and was outside. I said, "Are you at your house?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, aren't you going to go in?" He's like, "No, I don't want to disturb my roommate." So just sat on the porch. I mean, I don't know how nosy his roommate was, but I thought it was really odd. I didn't want to
Had
go in the house.
do you know that he had a roommate?
I
Or
don't
was
know.
it just like a screaming girl in the basement?
Yeah, I have no idea, but I thought it was super odd. And then there was another guy I had met on the dating app. It was long distance, and we did a lot of video chat before. We never officially made plans to meet. In the end, it ended. But he always took all his video chats from his car.
Yeah, I remember that guy.
And so that was a red flag that I was not seeing
A
with my
little
rose
bit.
colored glasses.
Yeah. And
And
you
yeah,
guys talked for a while, and
yeah,
he never went inside.
nope, it was always from his car, and I
I
never
mean, I guess
anything
that brings up a side quest. If you
like
think
this.
people are lying or know they're lying, do you call them on it? I tend to call people on it because I like to watch people squirm. That's who I am as a person. But I feel like you wouldn't.
Yeah, but I mean, it's good to just ask the questions, see how they react when you answer.
Oh, so, but
Yeah,
did you call him on it? Did you ask that guy, are we going inside ever? Or...
I did. And he said he just was always working, or he liked to drive around or liked being in his car. There was another guy, every time I called him on the phone, he would get in his car and do drives. And I'm like, I don't know if they were all living with their mom, with their wives. I don't know what it was. It was just very odd.
That's never happened to me. One time I was so mean to this guy, but it was only because he was so unreasonably hot. And I was like, all right, catfish, let's do this. Let's video chat. And we video chatted, and it was him.
You're
He
like,
was so beautiful. I was like, thank you, sir. Oh, well.
it's good. But
Yeah.
speaking of pictures, another request I noticed going on these dating apps, a lot of these guys would ask for a photo immediately. Hey, send me a photo, send me a photo. I thought that was really weird. And I thought, well, my photos are on my profile.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if they were trying to confirm, like, if I was real, if I was catfishing. But I also thought there might be
Oh.
some other ulterior motive with getting pictures of me.
Yes. 100 years ago, this guy, this is why the only reason I know this word is because this perverted man asked me for a photo of my uvula.
Oh,
I don't know. I looked it up, but that's not mean that it has the pronunciation.
your weenus?
It's the little dingle dangle thing in the
Yeah.
back of your throat. And I was like, in my infancy, what are you gonna do? So he wanted a picture of my mouth open as wide as it would go, and he wanted to see the little dingle dangle thingy. And I'm like, I just pictured him like printing it off and cutting a hole in the paper and parking his pink Pontiac in it. That's what I thought, but I don't know what he wanted with it.
Oh, that's so gross.
Okay, but so there's another side to it. One, there's the perverted side of like, let me get a little more. Oh, actually, there's three sides. Two would be men are inherently conquistadors and they want to get things that not everybody gets.
Okay.
And so they want to see if they can get something that nobody has ever gotten. And that's fed by working hard to earn you. And this is why hopefully we do 73 chats on this, because I'm very, very staunch about being free roadkill. Like if you're just like, here's my asshole in the bathroom mirror, like cool. Now they just want to go see other ones. Like they didn't have to earn it. It's not special. They don't cherish it. You're trash. And you could say whatever you want about like free sex and like, well, I'm a woman and I can have just a physical relationship too. Cool. Have fun. I'm just telling you, I have talked to hundreds of men about the whole new feminazi, feminism, sorry, thing where women are just like, yeah, check out my tits and my big lips and my this and my that and like, bent over in the gym with my tight pants on and stuff. And that might get some like temporary attention, but the thing that they love more than anything is like making the girl next door theirs and getting the girl who just has like the pretty sundress on and she's so wholesome. And like that's why guys have like total virgin fetishes, because they're like, I got something nobody else ever had. So sometimes they'll ask for pictures because of that reason. But there's the third reason, and that's the more nefarious reason, that one, you don't really know who you're talking to and you don't know what they do with these pictures. But there are people who are in other chat windows pretending to be you to go catfish other people. Not me. I'm not hot enough. But there are people. And so, like Ted from Poughkeepsie will be writing in to your little catfisher and be like, oh, I need to know it's you. Can you give me a picture with 2 fingers on one hand and 3 fingers on the other? And you're like, and so then he asks you,
Yeah.
oh, you just don't even seem real. You're so beautiful. Can you take this picture so I know you're real? And you're like sitting there like, I'm fucking stupid. And then he sends that to the entire world. And
Right.
like, oh, can you hold a fork and a ladle? Like, and you're like, oh yeah, of course I will prove
This
that
is-
I'm real. But
yeah.
like, he's got other chats going on. So like, don't do it. No custom photo shoots. You want to see me hold a fork? Take me out to dinner. Like, this is
Yeah.
how we're doing things. Um, oh, we probably should talk about AI,
Oh, yes.
because there
But
are deep fakes, although, please, everybody thinks like anytime you catch somebody doing something, like that could be a deep fake, bro. Nobody's going to take the time to do most of the things that people get caught doing. But when you were on this video chat, and I'm not a ventriloquist, so I won't pretend, but they're speaking and their face isn't really going along with the voice, and it's not just a delay, there's something off about it, and they have 9 fingers on one side and whatever. Like, also like look out for that. Or if they, oh, especially like the whole, we'll do a whole thing on catfish, but like, oh, my video isn't working, it's just my audio, and they have like a real thick accent from somewhere, and you're just like,
yeah.
all right, have a good one,
I
bye,
know
block.
it's bizarre. I had recently met this lady. She's going through a divorce. We were having this conversation, and she said her husband that she's getting divorced from already started dating somebody online and told her it was like Eva Longoria, like the actress. And she's telling him, like, no, it's not. This is, fake person. And not really. Yeah,
Yeah,
I video chatted with them and it was her. And I
yeah,
was like, how's that possible? And she said, so one time he did, and he let her see, and it was totally AI. And he's like,
yeah.
sure, and she's
It,
gonna fly me out to Hollywood, and
yeah, these catfishers will spend a lot of time and money to get your time and money.
yeah,
So we'll do a whole thing on catfish because I
okay,
got some tips. But
tippity.
along the line with vetting your dude, your real person, your real whoever you're going out with, how much vetting do you do before you meet them in person? Do you want to see their social media? Like, how do you feel about it?
Nah, I don't think anyone really owes you to get too personal with them before you even go on the date. But back to earlier comments we made about at least aligning lifestyle and what you're looking for. So you just don't waste either of each other's time is really important. So,
Hmm.
you can find out some demographics about them, confirming age, do you have kids, not, that kind of thing. But I really believe it's important to find out what they're looking for in a relationship, you could even maybe even ask, like, what does a healthy relationship look like for you? I think the time spent is an important one. I think that's just me with my personal experience. I like to spend a lot of time with my partner, and if I meet somebody that is like, I only want to see you once a month, it's probably not going to be a good match. So I don't want to,
Well, because that gives him
it's
29 other girlfriends.
right. I I get to see him on the 28th. Um, so I think
That's
those
what we should call them.
and yeah, activity lifestyle. Are you somebody that likes to hike and run a lot versus I like to binge watch TV shows and sit on the couch? Maybe sussing some of that stuff out first
Yeah, for sure.
and seeing if there's a compatibility, which is the most important thing, other, outside of looks and that jazz, is what kind of relationship are they looking for? What's their kind of lifestyle? Are you even remotely compatible at a really high level?
Yeah.
And then, okay, cool. This sounds great. Let's have a video chat. Okay, you don't have anything crazy like a chinchilla in the background. Okay, cool. Now it's time to now it's time to plan the date. So that's the next thing is planning the date. What are your thoughts on whether the guy should ask versus the girl?
Well, I think. Oh God. No, I'm sorry. I just was thinking about one other thing in your video chat. Just a safety thing. It's the cop in me. I'm sorry. I've seen too many bad things happen to bad people. Don't have any identifiers in the background. They can't Google you by chick with a chinchilla, but you have your diploma from Harvard that says that you graduated in 1979 or something, and now they're like sleuthing you.
That's a good point. Yes.
So no identifiers, and like if you're sitting on the porch because you can't go in because your wife's taking a nap or whatever that guy's problem was, and like you have the numbers 1313 on there, like I'll find your house
That's
based off
true.
of that window
Very
trim and this and that, and knowing that you're 4 blocks from Arby's, like I'll find you. So maybe not my best, but I can find other people's people too, and that's what's fun. So yeah, watch the identifiers because truly, like I've had dates where I thought this is really going to be something nice. He seems really cool, and then you're just like running in a mall parking lot for your life while you leave him in your car. Maybe we'll get to that story. I've been pulled into cars. I've had some issues myself, just growing up in the city of Los Angeles, of
same. I've literally
vacuous.
I've literally ran from cars. I'm dating myself back when the cars had the like pull up locks. I've
Oh yeah,
literally pulled up the lock, got out, and just started booking it down the street. And
yeah, yeah. So that's why I think the video chat is so much better than just the audio chat. I mean, one, you get all that visual element um, that you don't get because I think you can kind of vibe people a little bit better when you see how they are organically if they're just totally odd.
absolutely.
Um,
Okay,
and
so you
then
vibe well with them. You want to
and then
have
you're also just not giving them the phone number yet because
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want you to give them your phone number until maybe after you guys have your first child. Like, I just don't want to give anybody my phone number right away. So the video chat's good because it sort of pulls you away from having to give the phone number. Because let me tell you, the phone number is only for dick pics and like, what's up? How's your day? How's your week? How's your weekend? Like, what's up, stranger? Like, you know why I'm a stranger? Because you stopped texting me for 4 weeks, but I'm sorry that she dumped you and I'm not interested anymore. Have a good one. So I just don't give my phone number to people unless like we're on our second date. Like the first date has to be totally done and I have to drive away and mentally assess how I felt about the date. And then I'm like, you know what? I had a good time and here's my phone number. And
Yeah.
also my name is actually Molly. Sorry.
Yeah, I that's the second best tip you gave me was not giving my phone number out right away, which I learned the hard way, pun intended, of not
Saw a
doing
lot of
that
dicks, did you?
early, more than I needed, more than
Yeah.
I wanted. And yeah, waiting till that first date is out of the way before sharing that and you make that decision. Um, because, yeah, disaster ensues if you do it beforehand.
Yeah. It's just
And
giving people too much access that they
yeah,
haven't earned yet.
it is a red flag if anyone on the apps are trying to get you off immediately, right away. Oh, I don't usually go on here, or I don't check my messages on here. It would be a lot easier if I could talk to you on this, get your phone
Yeah.
number,
What's
meet
your
me on
WhatsApp?
Instagram,
What's your
Snapchat, or
Snap?
whatever.
Like,
Yeah.
sir, I'm not 14.
Yes.
Um, all right, so you found somebody
Okay. You
and you
found
want to go
something
on a date.
to dive. You want to go on the date. So back to the question. What are your thoughts on whether a guy is supposed to ask first or girl or
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're on like a dating app where it's just like we're both single, I don't think that you have to wait for somebody to ask you out. But I also think that guys want to be the pursuer. So it's a little bit, um, I don't know, it could go either way. I don't think it's a big problem. Here's what I think in talking to so many guys. I think the guy wants to know that the answer is going to be yes. And then he asks and he's delighted that you said yes. And he knew that he was going to get a yes. That's what I think. Um, so don't
that's
play a bunch of games and like, ew, if I was sitting in the car with you, blah, blah, blah. Or like, like be be fun and like lighthearted. And as they say in the UK, bubbly. Like guys just want I mean, I think most people, but guys
messy.
definitely want uncomplicated and they want to have fun and they want to be valued and they want to feel like their effort is worth something. And so I think they do want to pursue. I mean, if you're looking for a beta male that's just like, yes, Molly, whatever you want to do, Molly, whatever you want to eat, Molly, then like ask him out because otherwise he's never going to ask you out. But if you're looking for maybe more of an alpha male or something a little more equal, let him do it. He's
I'm
not
good either way. I think if it's just organic,
your your silence says that you're like, and then what about tomorrow? And then maybe the next day, and then what about the day after?
Are you ready to go out now? Yeah.
Okay, so what do you do on the first date? Do you let
Yes.
him just totally suggest it, or
It would be nice if the gentleman suggested or at least had some ideas. Maybe doesn't have to pick the places out, but um, offered up. But I think it also depends on your comfort level. Um, I, I know the coffee date is very generic, and a lot of people are poo-pooing it now. Oh, I don't want to go on coffee dates. It's so typical or boring. I love them. Not
oh
only
yeah,
not only is it checks all my boxes in terms of having like a safe short first date. You can go at
hmm
any time of the day, even better yet to do it in the daytime. It's in public. You get a nice drink out of it, especially this time of year. You get nice hot chocolate or a hot chai, and you can keep the date as short as long as it takes you to finish your drink.
you can walk away with it, paper cups.
Walk away and be like, "That was very nice."
Yeah,
So it
I
checks all
do
my
think
boxes with, the ability to have a safe, open, public, short, daytime, if you like, kind of date, and you have the opportunity to ask them whatever questions you want
hmm
and say, "Okay, well, this is," and you even have an out once you finish your drink, like, "Well, this has been great. Um,
yeah,
thank you so much." And you don't even have to at that time say like, I'd love to see you again, or this didn't work out. You can just say, all right, well, thanks, enjoy the rest of your day, or have a good whatever day it is, and be on your way. And then, you know, go run errands if you need to.
yeah. I think keeping it short and cheap is good. It makes it just really casual,
Yeah.
and there's just not a lot of pressure. Do I like you? Do you like me? Do we want to have a date? Almost like a pre-date, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And if you have a lot of matches on the application you're on, yay for you. And you don't have the time and money to be going on these long, expensive dinner dates, every single
Yeah,
week. So,
yeah. And I would say girl's biggest fear, besides getting murdered, is that he just only is going to say whatever he has to say because he just wants to have sex with you. And I think guy's biggest fear is she's going to show up and be fat, not look like her pictures, but then also she just wants a free dinner.
Mhm.
So I think if you could just take all of that out of the mix and go like, let's just meet for coffee. And like, if I show up early, I order my coffee and I'm already there, and he doesn't even have to worry about paying for it.
Yeah.
Um, I usually tend to show up a little bit early because I want to like scope out the location, keep my back away from the door. I got to think tactically.
Exactly. Exactly. So, all right. And in terms of planning it, you had shared this in our other episode as well of not being their plan B. So when
Oh
it's time
yeah,
to like plan the date, like, it should be something in advance. If they want to meet you on the weekend, they should be asking you
yeah,
on Monday, not Thursday night.
right. Friday at 10. You up? Oh, sir, I just happened to be all dolled up on my couch with my purse in my lap, just hoping that they got dumped by somebody. Where
Yeah,
to? Yeah. Have it be like, I guess the dating process is just showing how much effort somebody's going to put in, how much do they value you. And those things are really important because they come up much later on in the relationship, how much
absolutely.
effort they want to put out.
It sets the tone. How
Hmm.
seriously are they taking getting to
Right.
know you? And you know, other types of dates are cool too. You can still have a nice dinner date. Again, keep it public, a restaurant maybe that you already
Yeah.
know. You can talk about what types of food you like to eat ahead of time. If one of you is
Yeah.
vegan, the other one only eats meat, well, good luck. You can have Mexican. Um,
Then I
but
think you need to go back up to be selective
yeah,
because there might not be a match made in heaven.
but definitely things to stay away from are dates where it's not public or you might put yourself at risk or you're going somewhere that you don't know. And another
Yeah.
dating disaster for me, going to see a really long movie.
Oh yeah,
So,
don't do the movies. No
yeah,
movie.
I
You
had a
can't learn anything about somebody.
I had a horrible first date with a guy I'd met on the app. He wanted to hang out first and then go to the movies, and I was like, "Okay, cool." I didn't even think anything of it, and we hung out ahead of time, and the conversation was really awkward, and he was being very aggressive. And I was like, all right, well, it's time for the movie. And oh my God, it was
Aggressive, like he wanted to touch your junior
like,
mint.
yes, he did. And my milk duds. And, and we went and saw the Avatar 2. It was like fucking 3.5 hours long or something.
Oh,
The most
that's a
horrible
long
thing.
assault.
And I'm like, why did I do this? This is
But okay,
awful.
you can leave a date at any time.
That is true.
Hi, oh my gosh, I drank too much soda. I gotta go to the bathroom. And then, like, it's better than getting groped for 3.5 hours. I went on a movie date. This wasn't our first date. I don't know what number it was. And I mean, yeah, things are fine, whatever. And he like goes into his pocket and he pulls out some little baggie with like a lone tiny little pill in it, and he pops it for the movie. And I was just like, okay, curiosity, like, is he gonna start tripping? What the fuck did he just say?
Right.
So I'm like, what'd you just take? He's like, my psych med. Now the entire movie, I'm like, what is his psychological condition? And like, we just got to the movie theater maybe 10 minutes before. Like, you couldn't have popped that 10 minutes ago. So I didn't know that you had a psychological problem. So I knew he wanted me to know that he had a psychological problem, but like, he didn't ever fill in the blanks there. So anyway, that was probably our last date.
Very
Um,
interesting. But yeah, no movies on the
yeah,
first
no movie.
dates.
Yeah, I
Plus,
think do
plus you're
something
watching,
fun. Do
yeah, just
something
watching a movie.
silly.
Like when you're watching a movie, you don't have the opportunity to have conversation and get to know the
Yeah,
person, which is the whole point
totally
of your
down.
first few dates.
Right. If you take a stupid cooking class and neither one of you are like competitive and you're just gonna like fuck off and have fun and learn more about each other,
Yeah.
awesome. Totally
Yes.
great. Or just like, let's go to this large open public space that is in the between us. I find sometimes guys from like 2 hours, 3 hours away are like, I'll drive to you. Like, that sounds fun and everything, but I am not gonna drive to you. Like, if this becomes a thing. I don't know that I want a boyfriend that is a 4-hour drive.
That's another good point to add up to the, you know, checking them out to see if you're compatible, is if you're too much of a long distance.
Yeah.
If you live
And
3-4 hours away, like, are
right.
you ready to do that?
Or if they say, well, I wanted girls that lived around there, so that's where I put my thing, but actually I live, that goes back to honesty, and you just got to cut those people out. Like, no
Oh,
time for liars. Are you
yeah,
going to be in a relationship with me, or like, who am I going to be in a relationship with?
yes. Or the people that, well, that's where I'm planning to move. I don't
Yeah,
live there right now,
yeah,
but
cool.
yeah,
I had a guy from Atlanta do that once, and was living in LA, and I was like, cool. Why don't you move out here, and then I'll let you know if I'm interested in a coffee date. Oh, well, I don't think that love has no, whatever. Like, dating does though, sir. So like, I'm
yes,
not packing a bag and getting on a flight and getting patted down to go have coffee with you. No.
yeah. So going back
Um,
to the topic of safety. So I'll speak for the ladies in terms of, we do have to be a little bit more careful going on dates. You're meeting a stranger somewhere. So something I often like to do is give the information about who I'm going to see and where we're going to a friend or two of mine. So letting them know, hey, here's this picture off Bumble. Here's what he says his name is and some information. Here's where we're going.
okay.
Here's what I'm leaving. I'll let you know when I get there and when I get
Hmm.
home. There's also apps that you can share with your friends where they like track your location while you're on a date. Those are some things to think of as well.
You could
Just
put an air tag up your ass just in case.
yeah,
Final measure. Um, you know what I see? I see things on the interwebs where like there's a certain hand signal that you do that means I'm in trouble, or you order an angel shot and the bartender will walk, just go up to him and go, call 911, or like, I ain't having this. Like, you're in public. I mean, unless he's like holding you at knife point, in which case maybe some people would see it, or just go in the bathroom. And the next girl that walks in, I had to leave my purse on the seat. I need you to call 911 right now. I can't go out there. My date, blah, 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 or get the bartender, or I need help. Unfortunately, this is a world of some really crazy people. So don't be afraid to leave a date mid date. Nobody says you have to finish your food or thank him or hug him or give him your phone number. Like, if anything, with the whole new feminazi thing, like, I keep saying that word and I'm
I
probably
know.
pissing off a bunch of fucking cat ladies.
I
But
didn't even
anyway.
get bothered.
But with this whole new brand of feminism, I don't know. I think we're just like, we're trying too hard. And I think you just have to take a step back and go like, I'm enough. I'm enough for the right guy. And like, this ain't working. This is too weird. He doesn't make me feel good. He keeps like, looking at my tits, whatever.
Yeah, reaching for my milk duds and yeah.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I think I would have karate chopped that probably. I'm like, I am gonna sit over here. And if you come over this way, I'm gonna sit in my car.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. Um, yeah,
Speaking of cars, I forgot something to say about the safety is no carpooling.
oh
So
yeah, don't carpool. Do not.
something, at least for the first date, like wherever you're going, like both of you
Yeah.
go there at the place. Nobody's picking up somebody else. Like meet at the place.
Mm-mm.
And if they refuse, then to me that's a red flag as well.
Yeah. Another reason why I show up early, because I don't really want them to have my license plate.
That's
I know
great.
you make fun of my Arby's date, but he backed into the parking spot so I couldn't see his plate. I was not happy. I was like, he's foiled me. He's on to me. He knows. Um, who backs into a spot at Arby's like you're gonna tactically redeploy? Anyway,
I don't know. All right.
the date
So
had other issues. Yeah, don't carpool. Please don't carpool. And because I could tell you horrible stories of things that happened to women that I had to go testify to.
Oh,
And it started very innocuous, like, oh, we were just going to go to this party together. And, he said that it was kind of tricky to find the place. So I met him at his place. Or then I left my car at his house. But then when he came home, he blocked my car and he wouldn't let me leave. My car couldn't get out of his driveway. Like, you just don't want to be put in a position like
yeah.
with somebody that you don't trust. And it's just dumb things like that that you feel like you should be easygoing and fun, but you have to be safe and street smart first. Like, don't get in their car. And after the date, don't drive them to their car. Don't let them drive you to your
Yeah.
car. Cool, thanks, bye. I parked around the corner. I came early, so you don't even know what my car is. I was on a date with this one guy, and I made the mistake of driving him to his car. He's a grown man, small. Like, you don't need, he can hoof it. He parked there. He was also very late. So, and he picked the place. So it's like, I don't know why you're late. Like, I found it. Um, and so I drove him to his car and I was like, okay, well, you know what? And he was a good looking guy and he didn't seem too weird. Although we went to eat and the entire time he's staring at my boobs like they're telling him a story. And I had like a black turtleneck on. It wasn't like anything was
I don't know how to
out.
display. Yeah.
And so I ended up just sort of like slowly sliding under the table. And I was like, are you done? Because like I'm just kind of, oh, sorry. Yeah, we're good, sir. That's like, you've just solidified the fact that that is all you're ever going to see. So, but anyway, I thought I'll be nice. I'll drive into his car. It's not a romantic match. And we get into his car. I'm sorry, he gets into my car. I drive him to his car, and he doesn't immediately get out of my car. And I'm like, we're not going to do this whole awkward, like, yeah, huh, yeah, I had fun too, whatever. Like, just get the fuck out. This wasn't a match. And so he goes to give me a hug, and I'm trying to be agreeable. And so I'm like, okay, I'll just give him a quick hug. He reaches around behind me. I had my hair in a ponytail. He grabs my ponytail and he yanks it. He goes, you like that, don't you? And I was like, oh shit, stranger danger. And
Oh
I
my
got the fuck out of my car and took off. And I was like, if he takes the car, it's better than taking me. That actually did happen to me. And
that's
the
fucking
crazy thing,
insane.
yeah. And so I took off. I was gone. And I'm just like, dude, I'm not coming back to my car until he's gone. And he did get out and he left because he wasn't going to chase me. But he actually called me. It was like 2.5 months later. And he's like, yeah, I just wanted to say, like, I've been thinking about it and I did the wrong thing. And I'm just really sorry. Now, here's the thing. He left it as a voicemail. First of all, if it takes you 2.5 months to realize that you shouldn't assault people, like, I don't know. I feel like here's the other thing that I think is personally funny. I don't know why I find this funny. Every single ex boyfriend of mine is put into a single contact in my phone from the dawn of time. I've got 75 phone numbers that all belong to the name Shark Attack. And when I see Shark Attack is calling, I literally don't even know which one it is. And it makes me so delighted and happy that a shark attack is happening. Like, I never pick it up. I'm like, oh shit, that's a shark attack. Like,
That is fucking hilarious.
I keep everybody in my phone. I keep everybody in my. I have phone numbers of yours that are 100 years old.
Oh my
I
god.
just keep them. I don't. I
I'll
just.
know, I know who to go to now if I have to fill out some special
Yeah. Can you
medical
find
form.
my junior high prom date? What was his name? Kip. Oh yeah. Um, but yeah, Shark Attack called and left me a voicemail that 2.5 months later he realized that he was in the wrong. So that's good.
Oh my god.
Very nice.
It's insane. All right, let's
Um,
see. What else? I'm looking at my notes here.
okay.
Wearing, what do I wear? Molly, what do I wear
Oh,
one
what do you wear?
day? Speaking of your turtleneck, yeah.
I mean, clearly I was dressed to kill. I would say dress a little bit nicer than the place, like just because you're going to Arby's doesn't mean you can't bust out the tux. No, I mean, wear a nice sweater, wear something that fits you as I'm totally
Yeah.
struggling with myself. Um, like there's outfits I wear before I go out, and they look great in the mirror when I'm posed perfectly. And then you start walking and things are riding up and like things are just not where they are and boobs have to get moved. Just pick something that fits for sure because you're just going to
Yeah.
be confident, comfortable, and
Yes.
not messing with things or feeling like, oh, I wonder if the strap is showing or my tag's hanging out or the skirt is like riding up too high or these shoes hurt. Be comfortable first. Just like you want them to meet you and not some like posed perfect rendition of like who you wish you were. Um, so for sure, I think guys like easy, not easy, like zipper in the back.
Yeah, they
I
do.
mean, I mean, like simple. I mean, sundresses. You guys love your sundresses.
Men in sundresses, I
They're
know.
freaking magical.
Split
I'm
and
telling
chip.
you.
Yeah.
If you're a sundress kind of girl, don't be super low cut, tuck away your labia maybe. I feel like we're just giving away a little too much too soon.
Yeah.
Tuck away all the kibbles and bits. Let them earn that over a series of dates. Um,
One bit at a time.
T-shirt and jeans, a nice sweater.
Yeah.
Um, no yoga pants. We don't need to see what you ate for lunch. Like, I know you think you're okay, but
know
you're not.
that some of the young folk like going on these exercise dates or yoga dates. They get a workout in and get to meet someone. That is not my
Yeah.
jam, but
I'm like,
that's what you want to do. But if you're not actually gonna go on an exercise or yoga date, yeah, leave the yoga pants, the sweat pants with the holes in them, even though it's super comfortable. But yeah,
yeah.
put up a
I mean,
little.
a hiking date, great, but then you're usually going someplace remote, and that's not great.
That's true.
So,
I like the idea
uh,
of a hiking date, but yeah, if you're gonna be walking into the woods alone with
yeah,
a stranger, probably no good.
Arby's and I went roller skating. That's why we went to Arby's. I know you make fun of me for Arby's. It was like the closest place to the roller rink.
You know how we love to nickname everybody. Yeah. No, I think that's awesome. I think rollers, that's perfect. You get the exercise in. It was
It's not
something
perfect.
fun.
It's
It's
not
not
perfect.
okay. All right.
Nobody knows how to roller skate. It's not perfect.
You do. You're an awesome roller
I
skater.
know, but
And you have really cool roller skates.
I do have a lot of roller skates. I've got two pairs in my trunk right now. Yeah, roller skating could be a little awkward, and they really want to try so hard. But I would say no to roller skating, and here's why. You want them to feel comfortable and confident in what they're doing. And if he likes whatever, a sports team, it's not going to kill you to go do what he wants to do. Um, I have plenty of hobbies that I do by myself, and roller skating is one of them. I want to go as fast as I want. I want the song to be what I want to hear. I just want to be in my own little thing, and I don't want to be like, "Oh, you still back there? Come on, I just want to get around this track. Let's go." So maybe do something that he wants to do.
All
One
right.
time I had a guy take me to a Dodger game. I had never been to the any sporting event, let's be real. And I'm not interested in sports. Don't give a shit. But it was kind of fun to eat like a shitty hot dog and watch people screaming for no reason and booing for no reason. I had no idea what was going on with the game. But it was cool to see him like in his element, enjoying something that he wanted. It told me a lot about him and how like kind of I don't know, outgoing and stuff that he was. And I think it was kind of neat to see him in his element. I already know who I am. I don't need
Right.
to know more about who I am. I want to see who they are. So I think going and doing something with theirs is a bonus.
I agree. And I'm the same. I have zero interest in anything sports related. However, I friggin' love live games, whether it's basketball, baseball, hockey. It's so
Yeah.
fun. Just like you said, like go have a beer, hang out, enjoy the live event. I think it's really cool. So, all right. So we talked about what to wear.
Unless it's like blood sport stuff. I
Oh,
don't need to see
the
people
MMA here.
shooting the shit at each other. I've seen enough depravity in my life as a cop. I don't need to see it.
That's true. Let's see. Okay, so wrapping up the date. What are your thoughts on who should pay?
I think you at bare minimum have to offer. Um,
I agree.
I think they want you to offer. because again, it goes back to guys' fears that you're just like, oh gosh, I guess I just ordered so much. Um, could I get a doggy bag? And like you're bringing home food for the week, and he's just like, here's the money for it, and you're like, thanks, Dan. That was a real good time. Nice to meet you. And then you take home like food for your boyfriend or something. Like I think that's like not where you want to be. That's what I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think offering to go halves at least, and if
Yeah,
the guy offers, then awesome, cool.
yeah,
That's another reason too to keep it cheap, at least on the first few dates. You know, you're not trying to.
yeah. If
Uh,
you can't afford your own dinner, like you shouldn't
yeah,
be going on a date. If you can't afford both their dinner plus Jeremy's, I mean the friend that has no name. If you can't afford three mac and cheese plates,
yeah.
maybe you shouldn't be going.
Should be going on a date, and don't ask for a doggy bag to take the food home.
Yeah, don't. It's also a little bit uncouth. Is that a word people use anymore?
I use it.
It's a little like lower class.
Yeah.
Like, oh, could we get these free chips to go? I had a friend, dear friend of mine, who would get like extra free bread and then get a styrofoam container to take the bread home, and it was just like,
Oh,
luckily nobody I dated, but at any rate, yeah, you just want to order what you're gonna eat. Don't fucking lick your plate or anything,
wow.
and not take a doggy bag home. It looks like you're using them for free food. And then as far as who pays, another strategy is I had so much fun with you. Um, I would love to pay my way, or I would really like to see you again. Maybe we can go to that curry place that you were talking about, and then you could let me pay, and like set it up and say, hey, I really want to see you again. How about I pay this time and then you can pay next time? And then if you never see them again, oh well. I listen, this is a fault of mine, but I do like to pay on the first date, and maybe that's too forward. I very much get it. But then I don't feel super obligated to like give him my phone number, give him the hug where he can yank my fucking ponytail and like all that stuff that happens because psychologically you're like, well, he paid for my food. I guess I should let him finger bang me. No, I'm here to tell you no, ladies. Um, so I have, I've even shown up like early for the date, Danielle, and said, hi, I'm meeting somebody here for dinner. Could I just give you my card now? Thanks. And like, don't say anything. And
Oh,
then when they come and bring the check and you're like, oh, thank you. And they're like, no, 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 I'll take that. Oh, I already paid for it. And then I do that. I do that to friends. I do that to family. I do that a lot, actually.
I do as well. There's been
Yeah.
my favorite are the like if you're ordering up at the register with somebody and they have the kiosk where you can put your card over it. When they go to
Hmm.
put theirs, I always whip mine out faster and put it right under theirs. And I'm like,
Okay, we don't have a fight with them, but if you want to be a little underhanded and be like, I really wanted to treat you. I'm really excited that we got to go out tonight, and um, I want to treat you. I feel like sometimes the woman can show, whatever, and maybe you can pay next time, or this really didn't work out, and thanks for telling me the story about sleeping with your aunt. Um, I think we're done here. So,
oh my gosh.
um,
All right.
yeah. So, and then also with the doggy bag, like, don't drink too much for multiple reasons. One, it's just nobody's best look is slobbering drunk, um, or irresponsible, and like now you're like, well, this date's not going well, but now I have to wait at least an hour for my, blood alcohol content to go down to a legal level to be able to drive. Like,
Yeah.
or I'm going to risk a DUI or OWI, whatever your state calls it, because this date went south real quick and I didn't give any time for my alcohol to go through my bloodstream. I mean, I get that people like to drink. I don't really give a shit. I'd rather just really be able to focus on you without any kind of underwater feelings of
Absolutely.
not being in control. And I think that's why like the coffee date is pretty cool. And also if they're like coffee, we got to drink. We got to do shots. They're like, all right, well, you're already going back up to that selection process.
Yeah.
So
So we
yeah, don't drink too much.
don't drink too much, absolutely, and that'll help you also have a nice, coherent, intentional conversation.
Yeah.
So we didn't talk about what we haven't talked about yet is conversation. So
Oh yeah.
would
Oh
you?
shit.
What?
Sorry, Danielle. Safety first. Um, Along with drinking, do not leave your drink unattended.
Oh, yes.
If you walk away from it for a second, if you lean down to go get your chapstick and come back, that drink is done. Get a new one. Honestly.
The most
And
uncomfortable.
GHB and Rohypnol and all this stuff,
Yeah.
it's odorless, tasteless, and then you become this like soup sandwich. And he's just like, oh yeah, she had too many, and he takes you to his van, and you're gone.
Yeah. The most uncomfortable situation is if you leave to go to the bathroom and you come back and they've taken it upon themselves to order you a drink. And like, how do you get around like, oh, thanks, but no thanks? Like
Oh,
women
that's
probably
easy.
feel
You just,
obligated, to drink it.
first of all, you're not obligated. But second of all, I mean, you just came back from the bathroom. I'm clearly already floating. Thank you so much, though. You drink it. I'm good. Listen, I got to drive tonight. I'm a lightweight. You drink it. There's a million and a half excuses. You're a creep, and I don't trust you. You drink it. I want to watch. Like, I don't care what you say, just don't drink it.
Yeah.
Because it's little stupid things that get people in real big trouble, and I've seen it way too many times.
No, it's unfortunate. So
Yeah.
excellent point. Safety first. Don't leave that drink unattended. Okay. We'll go back to conversation. So you're there, you're having a good time, your drink has been tended to. What?
You got your sundress on.
Sundress on. My milk duds are, appropriately covered. What
Locked.
shall we talk about?
Um, the the one thing that everybody loves to talk about themselves.
Themselves, yes, ma'am.
Ask him everything and be interested, but not like in a, I don't know. It's always hard to say, like
To be authentic.
act fake.
Yeah.
But be creative. Like, don't say, "Hey Danielle, so what is your favorite color?" Boring.
Never
It's a
asked
one-word answer.
for.
What is your answer? What is your favorite color?
Mine's burgundy.
Cool.
What's your favorite color?
I don't know.
That's great.
How about this? Danielle, don't tell me what your favorite color is.
Okay.
Tell me how it makes you feel, and then let me guess what color I think it is. It's fun, it's playful, it gets more out of them. And so open ended questions, not, so where are you from? One word answer.
I know.
Like it there? One word answer.
I love that. I'd be like, imagine Bette Midler in The Rose. She's on stage. Your color make me feel. I love
Like, Hughes? um, yeah, and always like the why. You just keep them talking. So how long have you lived there? So like, but like, why there? How come that place?
What's your favorite
Like,
thing
what's
about living there? Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's also, if you haven't already asked these questions beforehand, asking them questions about why are they dating? Like, what got you on the app? What are you looking for? Like, maybe even asking them, if you feel comfortable, questions about what are you looking for in a partner? Like, what are the top 3 characteristics you look for, in a friend and a partner? I know these are questions I'd probably ask because I'm really trying to get to know the person.
Yes, but there are other ways that you can do it in a sneakier way.
Okay.
Here's the thing, Danielle.
Yes, Mom.
You want him to have fun and not feel like he's on a business interview.
I know. Yes, yes.
So what are you looking for in a partner? Also, do you have 3 references that I might be able to contact?
I love that question.
One, I think that people aren't going to be that honest up front. So they're going to be a little bit more guarded. They're trying to impress you. And it's almost off putting because it's like, God, it's already starting. Like, she already wants to know if I want to get married. And like, I think you have to vet all of that shit before you're in person. In person is to be lighthearted, to be fun, to make him want more, to make him want to see you again. It's just a little intro into who you are and if he wants to be with you again.
Yeah.
And that comes from the sundress and being playful and being fun and being uncomplicated and not the like, so what age did you lose your virginity and were you ever prostituted for it? Like they don't want like the real heavy stuff. I feel like I don't know,
I don't know, maybe that's my problem. I'm too
amongst
to the
other.
heavy stuff,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I think I mean, depending on the person and how the date's going, there's no super right or wrong about it. But I do agree that it has to be authentic. Like this is
Yeah.
potentially your future partner and
True.
it should be organic. I agree with you. It shouldn't feel like an interview. You don't want to be on an interview either.
Hmm.
So it could be organic. If the question comes up in terms of past relationships, I think it's important not only to listen to what they talk about, how they talk about their exes. Are they talking a lot of shit about their exes? Are they not taking accountability? Is it just all negative and all these bitches I dated were all crazy? I don't know what their problem is.
The
Or
narcissist trap.
yes, or do they talk about them in a positive way and a really great, but really, this is a difficult question. You have to be really comfortable and it has to feel real organic, but like asking them what's something that you learned from your last relationship or something you learned about
Yeah.
yourself. I think it's a
Yeah.
really telling question. And then the same goes for you. If they're asking you about your past, be be positive, be kind, and talk about what you learned or how you grew, and not so much about the negative aspect or why you're
Yeah.
not together
Or
with.
future forward stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
I learned I'm never going out with a guy named Jeremy ever again, or like broken, crazy. Um, yeah, I think I like that question because it also tells you what they value. So, what
Yeah.
did you learn from your last relationship? I learned not to date psycho bitches. Let me tell you something. Every woman's a cheater. If they say they aren't, like, check please. But if they're like, I learned that I was actually a lot more sensitive than I thought I was, and like I'm a hunter and I do this and that, and I thought I was a man's man, but it actually kind of hurt me when she would make fun of me in public sometimes, um and I didn't really know that about myself. So yeah, if they can be self-deprecating like that and tell you something that's them focused, I had this problem,
Yeah.
I improved myself, you're good. If you only hear her, she, everyone, all bitches, trust no bitch, like all that stuff. And it doesn't have to be that extreme, but like, there's just a lot of women out there that are looking to use me and stuff. And it really is a narcissist trap when you find people that every problem on earth is because of somebody else. They take no accountability, no responsibility, and it's almost like you have to apologize for everybody that came before, and like that has nothing. But also women is like, well, this guy pulled me by the ponytail once, so I can never let a guy in my car again. Like he doesn't need to know that. It's just like, people, I only drive people their car like once I get to know them a little bit better. I'm not just here for anybody. It makes them feel special, like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna earn that, I'm gonna be the one she drives the car. They
Yeah.
don't need to know about a fucking shark attack. So
Shark attack. Yeah, exactly. If they can be vulnerable with you, I mean, on one of the first few dates, I think that's a really big green flag.
yeah,
And
you're not going to see it that badly, by the way. But if you see any glimmer of that, it's pretty late.
yeah. And then to be careful if you start to hear any kind of like narcissistic type of vocabulary. A very common one that I've heard many times is when they talk negatively about their ex and say, nothing I ever did was good enough for her. Like that is such a common narcissistic phrase.
I
And
guess I would follow up that, like, well, what did you try? Like, oh, well, I let her have my doggy bag when I was cheating on her. And like, oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. Yeah, it's so tricky, Danielle, because this whole feminism thing talks about toxic masculinity, but like masculinity isn't wrong. So you also don't want to see because guys have this need to have that bravado to show you that they are the dragon slayer on the first date. So they might be making statements that are a little bit more grandiose or full of ego. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they're all serial killers. So I think you have to weigh it. But I would say they are guy, the whole men are from Mars, women are from Venus or whatever. What in the hell just happened?
That
Did
was
somebody?
me.
Oh,
I had a notification come through. That's because
must be on
remember,
a magical land.
I'm not talking my audio so you can hear all the little
Oh, okay. All right, that's why.
bleeps and bloops. All
Yeah.
right. Let's see. Another thing that I think is really important, especially in this day and age, is to stay off your phone.
Oh God, yeah.
When you show up to the place, you can text your friend, "Hey, I made it." I'll message
Yeah, I
you.
do like that because it also lets him know somebody knows where I'm at.
Yes, and then put it
And I
away.
have good friends.
Yes.
And then, yeah, don't even have it on the table because
Yeah.
I don't have a phone. But if you put it face down on the table, like I'm already suspicious of that because that's the screen and you want it on the table where the most amount of moisture and grit and all that stuff is. But then if you have it face up and they keep looking at it with every notification, like I think Angry Birds will wait, sir. Like I'm right here and I don't know why you're getting so many notifications. You're clearly very popular and
Yeah.
it's diverted attention. It's actually something that we teach, especially even with detectives, is when you're sitting there having that interrogation or interview with your suspect, victim, witness, whatever, to not have the phone there, people become very conscious of like, am I being recorded? What's going on? It's like, of course you're being recorded. You're talking to the cops. Like, it makes people less apt to be there in the conversation because they're like, well, if the phone rings, are they even? I want to tell them about the car that I saw earlier in the day, but it seems like there was even when I taught interview and interrogation, there was an arson case. It wasn't mine. Um, and the detective that went in had a very nervous habit. He got a fancy watch for something, and he had a habit of constantly looking at this watch habit. And
Yeah.
he was doing this arson case, and the guy did not confess. And they send somebody else in who was a little bit softer. And I like to, after the interrogation, like, hey, so, I mean, why did you feel comfortable talking to me about it?
Hmm.
Because one, I want to be better for the next suspect. Um, well, the other guy kept looking at his watch, and so I just felt like if I didn't confess in time, like it looked like he had someplace to go. Like, oh shit, the
Wow.
people are watching you more than you think you are, and just that, like, the guy could have gotten away with this arson, but yeah, you don't need props with you, and you don't need to keep checking your watch. To me, that would mean he must have another date down the street. Like, where let's just coffee. Like, it's just gonna take another minute. Oh, I guess my story has gone on a little long. Like, why do you keep checking your watch? Or why do you keep checking the phone? Like, if you're, I mean, I'm a firefighter now and it's like I'm on call, I've got a pager, but if I'm on a date and I have a sundress and some sandals on, like, I'm not going to work. I don't need to keep checking my pager, my phone, to see if I'm going to dash out right that moment. So keep all the stuff off the table. You don't
Yeah.
need props and pacifiers.
And distractions.
The
Yes,
phone has become a human pacifier.
it has. All right. So we talked about the conversation. The only thing I think we didn't touch on in the conversation, another positive thing to do is compliment them in an authentic way.
Yeah,
Um,
I would to compliment them. but maybe not for something super obvious. Like if he's really tall, how's the air up there? Like that's shit that they've heard 100 times. Like,
Yeah.
but if they have bright green shoes on, clearly that's somebody that wants to get noticed. Those are so cool. You're brave. I like that. A guy with fashion. Very cool. You're already getting points with me. And also tell them when they're earning points because they're like, they get a big dopamine hit from knowing that they're doing well with you because they're
Uh,
on the date to do well with you. So if you're like, oh, you ordered blah, blah, blah for dinner, like, that sounds pretty good. I might have to sniff that. You're already earning points with me. It's very daring. I would never get it
Perfect
spicy
line
here.
to say on a first
Whatever.
date. I might have to sniff that.
I don't know.
I love it. Okay.
And I also want to say another thing that has to do with interview and interrogation is a real psychological trick to building some rapport with people. So Danielle, I'll ask you again. What is your favorite color and why?
Burgundy, because it makes me happy.
It makes me happy. Yes, I love that it makes me happy. It makes me happy too. So, um, what is your favorite TV show and why? I don't know. It's a bad question, but I'm just trying. I'm doing something to you, so play
Oh,
along.
favorite TV show?
You can make it up.
That's
I don't care.
a difficult question.
Why do you love Scooby Doo?
It's reminiscent of my childhood. It
It's your
reminds me
childhood.
reminds me of the dream I always had to be an undercover detective and be
Undercover
able to eat
detective.
snacks. Wow.
Eating snacks. Yes, eating snacks. Do you see what I'm doing to you? If
Yeah,
you repeat the last couple words of somebody's sentence, it instantly builds this, and I did it over the top for a reason. It builds this instant rapport between us because I have mirrored you and agreed with you. And by repeating your exact words, I'm already like in your head, and you already feel like we're meshing together.
feeling, yeah. Oh,
Yeah. So it's they say mirroring, like friends will do it, like I've got my hand up and then you have your hand up. I mean, you can do that kind of stuff. He takes a sip of his water, you take a sip of your water. It starts building like psychological connection between you two. But sometimes, he's stroking his beard and you have nothing there. It doesn't, it's not always perfect. But the mirroring the last three of any sentence, it does work.
all right.
Don't do it as obvious as me, though,
Yes,
clearly.
that was a
Nope,
good tip.
you're a weird. Good.
Okay. All right. So we'll get to our live stream is super long now. So let's wrap it up with end of the day. I know we're already like hour and a half.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Hopefully someone's baking a cake or building a birdhouse while they're listening to this or something.
If anyone is building a birdhouse, like photo of it in my DMs, please.
Please, please. Okay.
Okay, end of the date.
End
So,
of
okay, so you've done your coffee, you've done your dinner, you've done your whatever, and it goes well, it doesn't go well. Like, how do you end it?
yes.
I would say keep it short. So I would say my number one is no secondary location. I don't care if you're having the best time in your life. You delayed gratification is I hiccuped in the middle of that, and so it took a little bit longer, which I thought was a little. Delayed gratification is so powerful to make them get on this like dopamine earning kind of like, ooh, I want to know more about her. I want to, when can I see you again? You want him to be excited about you. What is that quote? Like, better to keep your mouth shut and anyway, whatever. Never mind. Better to keep your mouth shut. Thanks and good night. Um, you want him to be excited to see you again, or excited to just fucking end the date and go home and tell your friends about it 25 years later. But don't go to any secondary locations. One, safety issues. Now he sees your car and your plate
Yeah.
and all this stuff. And does it seem reasonable that the two of you are going to drive separately? Do you look like a dick, or do you look like, oh, I can't possibly go in your car? Or it's just too much. Just, you're going to meet him for another date, maybe, maybe not, but don't go to any secondary locations. The date is what you planned on, and don't let him move the goalpost.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent point. You can definitely let them know, if you had a good time, and if you didn't really, like, you don't even have to say, you just like, I had a time. There we are. Um, but another thing is, you know, if there's any kind of expectation of anything physical at the end of the date, like kissing, making out, this, that, and the other. Obviously, as we touched on earlier, there's no obligation for that. And if you're not feeling
Oh,
it, and you don't feel
coffee
comfortable,
date.
yeah,
I don't know how much tongue needs to be involved with, like, oh my gosh, we both drank a beverage at the same time. Let's swap bodily fluids. I don't
yeah,
think so. I think it's more of like a meet and greet. Like,
yeah,
hey, do you like me enough to go on a real date with me? Yeah, I like you enough. So I don't think there needs to be any like smoochy smooch going on. Plus, you're not getting in his car. He's not getting. Where are you guys making out? Like at the bus stop? No, no.
bus stop if you're lucky. All right,
Yeah,
let's see.
no, no making out. Anticipation is what draws men into investing more into you.
Yeah,
And so you want to give him that anticipation. Don't rob him of it. That's what's going to make him fall in love with you. That's what's going to make him think about you, and all these bitches are sending pictures of their assholes to him.
absolutely. And it goes the other way as well. I've been on a date before with a guy. First date, really into him, had a really great time. Date, it was a dinner date. Date was over, and if he would have kissed me, I would have totally went for it. But he didn't. Just gave me a quick little hug and was like, "Oh, I had a nice time," and flew away to his car. I was like totally left me wanting, and like, oh, I
Yeah.
definitely want to date with this guy again.
I mean,
Um,
it works on all the movies. You see
yeah.
them like kind of like leaning in, and then somebody like breaks it up, and you're just like, dang, I was so close. Didn't we go through like 47 seasons of that on the X Files? Or you're just like, could you just get
Oh,
together already? And then they
oh,
got together, and it was like, ew, no.
yes.
Um, yeah, yeah. Also, just would say like first date, like give yourself some time to like assess it honestly. And you can't do that like necessarily. I mean, truthfully, there's sometimes where you're on the date and you're like, well, at least this is the last time I'm gonna see this human being.
Yeah,
But if you're excited about him stuff, just like let there be that space of like, do I picture myself kissing him? Do I want to see him again? Are we really that compatible? He did tell that one story about college, and like really decide if you want to see him again. I don't think that you have to leave the first date saying, I will see you next Tuesday at 2:45.
agreed.
Um,
You don't have to make a decision right then. Let
yeah,
like you said, let yourself marinate in it and see how you really enjoyed that experience and getting to know them. Absolutely.
yeah. I know we had some really bad dates to talk about. I was going to tell my Hitler tits story, but I feel like we're going like super over.
I know we're almost at like an hour and 40 minutes.
Shit, nobody needs Hitler tits.
Not
But
not at
let's,
not at that point.
yeah, but let's do it again. So you can find me here, wherever you're seeing this, through Molly Sleuth. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Rumble, I'm all over the place. And Danielle, do you want to give out your digits so I can add you to my Shark Attack list? Or
You already have. I hopefully I'm not on your Shark Attack list, but no, you'll find me through Molly. I don't have any
okay,
channels yet, but I might soon. And
maybe if
maybe
Hitler Tits isn't taken,
that's right. It's gonna be my name or Milk Duds.
Milk Toast. Aw,
I
listen,
know.
if I could break off a pack of my sandbags, have at it. Have fun sleeping on your stomach, running down a flight of stairs, hugging people. It's not all it's cracked up to be. Um, oh, that said, I don't. The we wanted to do another one with a guy and his perspective, but we'd love to talk to you guys too. So probably what we'll do is we will rebroadcast this non-live because clearly we're nobody, and but we have some fun things to say, and we really love to talk to people.
Yes.
So I got my bestie Randy like all up in the queue. He wants to talk to us. He wants us to go through his dating app profile pictures
Yay.
and tell him what we honestly think. Girl, I have known him not as long as you. Just wait for these photos. This,
Can't wait.
he is such a good guy. The man knows nothing about marketing. And these pictures, because I'm telling you, I have taken them down multiple times over the years and go, bro, you literally can't use that photo. Why is this photo back? Put this away, never to be seen again. So I would love to do that with you. And maybe we'll do that as a live. And I mean, he's got some good pictures too. And he's got
Yeah.
so much insight because he is the male version of us. You're going to love him. And so hopefully let's do that one. And we got a lot to talk about. So, guys, if you will like and subscribe, it does so much for us. I've got 5 followers on Rumble. And I don't even know who you guys are, but I am so excited that somebody gives a shit about my crazy life. And I can talk to a wall about nothing. So if there's
Yes.
if you want to know about more about cop stuff or restraining orders or what's the grossest thing I ever saw or whatever, like I'll do it. But the dating stuff is really fun, and I also think it really helps people. And truthfully, I speak for Danielle and I. We are romantics at heart, and we really just want everybody to be in a great relationship and be like so happy and healthy and in love and stuff.
Yeah, and find
So
the right person for you and not spend any more time digging through the garbage. Learn
yeah,
from us.
yeah, leave it there.
Yeah.
Once the cat throws it up, it's done. It's off limits. So find me at Molly Sleuth and also subscribe so that we can unlock more abilities to do more things with our channel. And we'll talk to you soon. Love you guys. Now, Danielle, find a way for us to get off the internet.
Gladly. 3, 2, 1.